Hey guys, Jackie Stroll here. Today is day 45 of our 100 Days to Prosperity Challenge, and we're almost halfway done. It's just been flying by, and I've been having a blast. Maddie, say hi.
Hi.
So today we're going to be talking about Robert Kiyosaki's Cashflow Quadrant, and I'm actually going to get my husband on here to answer a couple questions, so stick around. It's going to be great. And welcome back, everyone. My name is Jackie Stroll. For those of you who don't know me, this is my son, Evan. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I work from home. I'm an entrepreneur. I run my own business, and that's what this channel is dedicated to, making passive income and affiliate marketing online. So I do this from my home with my family surrounding me, and it's absolutely wonderful. I love what I do.
It really is. She used to work at a different place away from home a lot, and we hated it. It sucked. But now she's an affiliate marketer, and she's a stay-at-home mom, so it's awesome.
Oh, thank you guys. Thank you. So if you guys are new here, be sure to hit that subscribe button, okay? Like I said earlier, we're in the middle of a 100-day challenge, so hit that subscribe button and that bell notification so you get notified when I post my videos every day. I can't believe we're almost halfway done with this already. It's been a great ride. Thank you all for participating and being a part of this. I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you so much. So today we're going to talk about the book by Robert Kiyosaki, The Cashflow Quadrant. I'm going to hop over onto my other screen and kind of give you guys a rundown of what the Cashflow Quadrant is, and then I'm going to have my husband sit down and talk to you guys about shifting from the left side of the quadrant to the right side of the quadrant. So let me just switch screens here. And welcome back. So for those of you who do not know what the cash flow quadrant is, here's an example of it, okay? On the left side of the quadrant, we have E, which is the employee, and S, which is the self-employed person, right? And on the left side of the quadrant, these are people who trade their time for money. They're not making money unless they're trading their time for it. They have to work hard for their money. This is where 95% of the population lives and 5% of the wealth in the world lives, okay? It's over here on the left side of the cash flow quadrant. On the right side, you have your business owners. These are people who own a system that works for them, like a franchise or that sort of thing. And they have people that work for them and they make passive income that way. And then there's the investor that invest their money and have their money work for them. So the right side of the quadrant is all passive income. This is where 95% of the wealth in the world lives, is right here on the right side of the quadrant. And I pulled up this one so you can see kind of a visual a little better of what the cash flow quadrant looks like, but he explains it a little more over here. This is Robert Kiyosaki. He's the author of the Cash Flow Quadrant book, which is an amazing book. If you haven't read it, please read it. It's great. It's linked below, as well as Rich Dad, Poor Dad, which is the first book you should read before the Cash Flow Quadrant. But I really want to do this video on this Cash Flow Quadrant today. So it explains here, the employee, you exchange your time and effort for an income. You don't work. If you don't work, you don't get paid, pretty much. Self-employed, you work for yourself, but you can take a 6-week holiday and your business keeps going on without you. No, that's not true. If you work for yourself, you still have to work every day. You're still trading your time for money. And that's the left side of the quadrant. The right side, big business. These people have people working hard for them to generate an income, or the investor, they are the people that have money working hard for them. Play golf and live a good life. This is very, very true. So the right side of the quadrant is where everybody really wants to be in life, right? Everybody wants to have those freedoms in their life and not have a limit on their income. That's what the whole right side of the quadrant is about. So now that I've explained that to you, I'm going to have my husband hop on in here in just a minute, and he's going to explain to you what it's been like for him, moving from the left side of the quadrant to the right side of the quadrant, and his experience with me starting a business online and striving for passive income, and him being an employee in a very, very firm set employee mindset when we first started this. But he's shifted over to the right side of the quadrant and really grown. And I want to kind of interview him for you guys, so you can see his thoughts on moving from the left side of the quadrant to the right side of the quadrant. So he'll be on in just one moment. All right, guys, here's my husband. This is Jason.
Hello.
When I first started this business, he was a little hesitant and very much in the E mindset, and that's why I wanted to kind of interview him for today's video. I'm going to ask him a couple questions and just let him kind of take over. So first question, how did you feel about the cash flow quadrant concept when I first brought it up?
At first, it was kind of an insult. This idea that I'm doing it wrong was kind of an insult to me, and it really turned me off to the whole thing. When Jackie told me, like, yeah, you're an E, I almost took it like, what does that mean? I mean, are you labeling me? What are you doing? And it really kind of upset me and turned me off to a lot of the ideas that she was telling me until I started reading it and understanding what Bob Kiyosaki was talking about in more of the context that he was putting it in, not just like, hey, you're an E.
Yeah.
So, yeah, at first it really kind of upset me because nobody likes to be labeled. Nobody likes to be, I didn't enjoy being told that I am part of the quadrant that makes the least amount of money, works the hardest, and pays the most amount of taxes. That made me upset.
Yeah, that's all true. That's all very true. All right. Did your thoughts and feelings about this change as you read the book?
Yeah, it did. It made me feel like I don't have to be an E, or my income isn't limited, or that being in this like employee quadrant, the quadrant of people that work. I mean, it's by far the largest group of people. Is a bad thing. I didn't feel so pigeonholed or like sentenced to this. This is what I have to do. It kind of showed me that there's options, and that just because I've been trained my whole life to trade my time for money doesn't mean that I have to continue to trade my time for money for the rest of my life.
Right. That's how we're all brought up, though. The school system really pushes the time for money concept on our kids, and we're going to be teaching our kids a little different way of thinking, and they can make their own choice when they're at that stage in their life. So I think that's one of the biggest benefits that we've come across so far anyway.
Yeah.
So question number 3, sorry guys, I have these written down. I'm sorry if I sound scripted. How has your day-to-day thinking been affected by the concepts in the cash flow quadrant? Do you view your job differently, and do you view my job differently?
It has certainly pushed me to try and think outside of the box that I had inadvertently put myself in, or my upbringing put me in, for sure. Because the idea of passive income to me was an absolute like absurd concept. Like, passive income, that doesn't make any sense. Like, I don't get it. How do I view my job differently? Let's see. Well, I see it more now as a support mechanism. I use my job to support my family. It's not the thing that I'm going to do for the rest of my life, for sure. Because it does kind of stink. You spend roughly half of your awake time or half of your week going somewhere and doing something that you don't necessarily enjoy. Obviously, most all of us could say we would rather do something else than go to our jobs, right? So I definitely see my job as more of the way to support Jackie and her business, the way to provide insurance for my family, and until Jackie and her job can get up and running into that position to be able to support us. And I do see her job now as more of a long-term thing, though, like the amount of her passion, the amount of time that she spends with this, the amount she cares about it is obvious. And I would like to, I've never seen her so driven and determined to succeed with anything that she's ever done. So being able to support her in this and knowing that it can in turn then support me financially is also really, really good. So, you know, whereas before I thought a lot of the things that Jackie was doing were kind of like, a lot of the internet stuff is kind of in a dark light. It seems kind of scammy. I felt like I feel like I always have to be on the defensive with these internet businesses because, you know, it's a lot easier for somebody to take your money if you're not face to face with them. And so I guess I have a trust issue with the internet, especially with her original experiences trying to get a business going and all the times that she was scammed before. So
yes,
I do see it more positively and in a better light than I did before.
Yes. That was very sweet. Thank you. All right. Last question. What's your suggestion or suggestions for anyone wanting to shift their mindset and move from the left side of the quadrant to the right side?
Well, I'm still on the left side.
Yeah.
So this is purely hypothetical, I suppose. The right side being you create income via investing or owning a big business. That's I mean, if you read the Cashflow Quadrant, it kind of explains that a little bit better. And the left side is people who trade their time for money or own a small business, something that they have to go to in order for it to operate. And you know, the biggest thing for me is I've had to start looking for opportunities that could create investment opportunities. Not looking for investments, but looking for opportunities that can create investments. So like when I was reading the book, I was really fired up about it. And we're walking our dog around town, and we're like, oh, that house over there has been vacant for a while, and it's got a sign up on the door. Let's go read it and see if we can, purchase it and maybe get a rental property. And we're looking at rental properties as a passive income, kind of a way of creating a positive cash flow. Like if we can get it for cheap, we can rent it out for more than we pay on our mortgage. So we're thinking of all these things, like how can I manipulate the system to create income for myself that I have to work for once and then I receive income regularly. How can we do that? And so I had to start thinking more about how people who have passive income think. I had to start thinking more like them. How did Bob Kiyosaki become a multimillionaire? How does he make $1 million in a year and not pay a single dollar in taxes legally? How did he do that? And so when I start being an employee, somebody who's working every day and looking at how much I pay in taxes, I don't make a significant amount of money. The fact that 30% of my paycheck goes to whoever and insurance and, federal government, I'm putting myself out of a job, paying for a lot of the federal taxes and stuff, but that's neither here nor there. But how does somebody who makes $1 million pay $0 out of their in taxes? And learning how those things work, and it does take work to learn those things. But I mean, that would if your job is to figure out how to keep your money, like that sounds a lot better. If you're making $1 million and you're figuring out how you can keep $1 million, that sounds a lot better than making, $30 an hour and 10 of it goes to the federal and state governments.
Yes.
So changing the way that I see things, not like, oh, that house is vacant, now our neighborhood's gonna, like the property value in our house is gonna go down. No, it's joining like the yard sale and home for rent groups on Facebook and realizing that there's a market for people who want to rent to buy homes. So if you rent it out to somebody and they want to purchase it from you, you can make money off of that. Okay, so how do I get to the point where I can purchase a home? Well, a mortgage is actually a really secure way of trading money, so as long as you go through the right processes and stuff. So thinking about things differently. Before I thought, oh, I have to be able to make enough money to qualify for a mortgage. Now I'm thinking, how can I get this mortgage for this house that I'm not going to pay the mortgage on?
That's the mindset shift.
Yeah, that's the transition that I've had to kind of shift from, and owning a house, like all the things that come with the responsibility of an E in adulthood, making sure I pay my bills, making sure I have enough money to pay for the things that I have, not taking out a loan for, my dirt bike because I can't afford the monthly payment. Don't worry about it. But those are things that you have to think about, right? And when you shift over to the right side and you start thinking about more, is this going to make me money? Is this a liability, or is this going to be
An investment.
An investment. There we go. Is it a liability or an investment? Turns out your home is a liability because you're working on it all the time and it sucks.
Yeah, we just had to replace our water heater, so yeah.
So yeah, it took time. It just takes time, and then just being shown examples of opportunity. Like I said, thinking like the people who are making passive income, asking somebody who has passive income, how did you get there? What do you do? How did you get that? And then figuring out on your own how you can translate that into your own way of making passive income.
I like what you just said. The best way to learn how to do something is from somebody who's already done it. So if you're really interested in doing this, find somebody that's doing it and ask them questions. That's the best way to learn.
Yeah, we're still transitioning, obviously, because time, it takes time. It doesn't happen instantly, but we're definitely working towards it. And we're in our 30s now, and in 10, 15 years, we'll be well off and not have to work, and a lot more vacations and jet skis and
# goals.
So yeah, but yeah, those are my thoughts on that.
Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate you. And thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that was helpful and insightful for you. I will see you all tomorrow for day 46. Yay! I'm so excited. As always, if you would like to know my #1 recommendation for making passive income online and an earn as you learn opportunity, click that link below. And these books are linked below as well. So please check those out. If you haven't read them, must read for every single entrepreneur. It doesn't matter what business you're in. Must read these books. I have some other books linked down below too. So thank you guys for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.
Get the books and follow more on Facebook.
Have a good day.